Hello guys, welcome back, and in today's video we're going to go over a big dilemma going on at the moment. Now, I have found some theory crafting articles about this issue. It's not an issue, but you will see what I mean. And today's topic is Beyond Wonderland or Inquisitive Deer for Tooth Fairy. Which PSYCHUBE is better? Now, there is no definitive answer. I just tell you right now, okay? You can close the video. There's no definitive answer. But if you care about it a lot, then we can go into depth about it. Which one is better? Now, first, before we get into it, I also found a Chinese guy, Theorycrafter, that made an article on a forum about this issue. He did a lot of calculation, and is also at the end there is his verdict about the situation. After him, I will also tell you my verdict about the situation and what I think about this whole dilemma. First of all, I really want to stress that that guy is just one guy. It's one guy that made a calculation, and is by no means the truth from God, right? Not because it's Chinese. It's not because it's Chinese. Everything they say, it's pure gold. Okay, so try to not simp too much just because it's written in another language, then it must be true. That's not the case. Try to like break out of this mentality, which is, in my opinion, I think is wrong, right? So, first of all, so whatever you see here, whatever you will see in the video later, do not take it as pure gold, okay? Take it like, oh, okay, so he thinks like that. Okay, with that in mind, I will form my own opinion. Try to do that always, right? So this is a little disclaimer because before you come in the comments Fleming, what the fuck are you saying? That's actually not true because my calculation is completely different. What the hell is this? The critting rate is, right? So calm down. First of all, let's analyze the Tooth Fairy kit. First of all, she is very reliant on, she wants to rely a lot on critical. And she is enabled to do so by her insight, critical rate embedded in their health itself, health skill itself, healing skill itself. And she also applies confusion debuff, which is a further 25% critical rate. Now, the critical resist, just look at it, just critical rate, plus critical rate for everybody, okay? Or for the enemy if it's debuffed. For you on the enemy. Now, reduce 15% critical resist rate and critical def, which also means critical rate and damage on all allies. Then on Insight 2, you get plus 10% healing effect, and on Insight 3, you also heal every time you consume 5 baby tooth, right? You heal once for 10% HP lost. Now, it is very important to specify that baby tooth heal doesn't crit, cannot crit. Okay, so that one is not affected by any crit that you might have. You may have like a million crit, it doesn't affect, cannot crit. And there is something else that cannot crit, which is Inquisitive Deer amplification buff. This one doesn't crit either. By keeping that in mind, now we can start. First of all, the healing itself in general in the game doesn't scale on crit damage, has in the same way as damage does. So healing has a different calculation, a different multiplier compared to damage. The multiplier actually diminishes when you reach 100% critical damage. So after 100% critical damage, after the 100%, it increases by 0.3 instead of 0.8, I believe. And also, Tooth Fairy herself doesn't have 0.8 as a crit damage multiplier, but has 0.75 according to the Chinese guy. So keep that in mind. There might be a reason why she's healing maybe less at level 1. Okay, why is she healing less than Medicine Pocket, right? Because like maybe they have a different multiplier. Keep that in mind. It's not going to be noticeable in my opinion. It's going to be just 0.05 is nothing in my opinion, right? So with this in mind, let's go check what Beyond Wonderland and what Inquisitive Deer do. First of all, where and when do you get Beyond Wonderland? This is a future PSYCHUBE. We will get it for free, like Luxurious Leisure, for free in the 1.2 Phase 1 event shop. So you do the event, you go to the shop, you use the ticket that you got from the event, you buy the PSYCHUBE. It's gonna be coming with Tooth Fairy, so in the same phase. So you do the event, you get Tooth Fairy, and then you get Beyond Wonderland. Now, You have your Beyond Wonderland. You need to level it up and give XP to it. Now, after let's say you have level 50 Wonderland and level 50 Inquisitive Deer, fully ascended, ready to ascend to level 60. Now, nobody has level 60 besides whales, I think. So at the moment, of course. So what we are going to check is the value provided by the two, regardless of amplification 3, 4, and 5. Just amplification 1 and max HP. Now, this one gives you 10% max HP, and a level 50 is going to give you 14, right? So Inquisitive Deer is going to give you 16% healing done. Now, this one gives you HP, doesn't give you healing done, and the amplification gives you says that you have healing rate increased by 3% after using a health skill. Stacks up to 4 times, so a total of 14, 12. Wearer crit chance increased by 7%. Now, this is not a lot by any means. It becomes a lot on P5 on MP5. We'll see about that in just a second, but that's not a lot. But you do have stacking that eventually becomes permanent after you're done stacking for the whole fight, which starts from 3 and ends at 12. So you almost kind of catch up with Inquisitive Deer, even though you're still 4% behind. And the amplification on Inquisitive Deer, on top of giving you base, always permanent healing done, which also helps, always helps. And also this one affects the baby tooth as well, that it wasn't supposed to crit, right? It doesn't crit, but it's affected by healing done, so you're gonna heal more with Inquisitive Deer. Also, the amplification one is a little situational, but I feel like in the case of TOOTHFAIRY, since her debuff only lasts 1 round, you always find yourself debuffing multiple times per combat, per encounter. So this one is gonna be triggered many times. The longer the combat, the more times you trigger this, because you have to debuff, or you want to debuff, right? Because it doesn't linger. So you need to debuff every time you want to do some nuke or some attack that you want to crit. You want the attack to crit, right? And it heals at amp 1. Nice voice crack. It heals at HP, carries attack, 24% of TOOTHFAIRY's attack in this case. Heal for the ally with the lowest HP percentage. Only triggers 1 time per round, so it doesn't matter if you debuff twice, you're not going to heal twice. Keep that in mind. Amplification 5 makes it so you heal for more, but it doesn't increase anything else. So it's basically like double. Whatever heal was in MP1 is doubled, basically, right? It's double. Of course, it's also influenced by the healing done here. So if you have a higher Inquisitive Deer Ascension, this heal is going to be a little higher. So if you notice that it's a little higher or a little lower, check if you have what level is your Inquisitive Deer. Maybe it's like level 30, and then in that case you only have 14% and you're missing 2%. It's like, why is it low? It should be this mathematically, right? So keep that in mind. On top of that, depends on the resonance. The resonance that you have on your TOOTHFAIRY determines which PSYCHUBE is better for you. If you want to go full criticals, then, and if you can reach a nice critical baseline, maybe Amplified 5 Beyond Wonderland is better. While if you don't have all of that, and Amplify 1 Beyond Wonderland, you have Amplify 1 or Wonderland, then Inquisitive Deer I feel like is better because it's more present. It's always there. Boom. Heal. Healing done. Always there. Boom. You debuff because you're doing something else. You heal while not having to heal, right? So you heal by being aggressive. Like you debuff for some DPS. Boom. You healed. And it's influenced by healing done. And then you consume the baby tooth. Boom. Baby tooth heals more because you have healing done higher from Inquisitive Deer, right? So this one gives you 12%, but you start with 0. With 3. No, with 0 actually. You start with 0, and then you use a healing skill, and now it's 3%. Then you use another healing skill, and now it's 6%. Then you use another. You can see the vibe, right? The vibe that is like in the combat, whenever you have to heal, why would you use a heal at the start of the combat, right? You're not going to use a heal at the start. You're going to use a heal when you need to heal. And when you need to heal, now you realize that you don't have the healing rate maxed yet because you never used the heal before. So you start with 0. So this Beyond Wonderland, even though it might be good at Amp 5 because you can crit way more often than normal with it, and you also have HP that makes you more tanky, still is less global and less universal, less permanent, less lingering than Inquisitive Deer, in my opinion. I'm not a Theorycrafter, I am a LogicCrafter. So, the new term, a LogicCrafter. I am a LogicCrafter, so logically, in a scenario, it feels like Inquisitive Deer should be better, right? Now, that said, if you want to go full crit, Amp 5 might be better if you manage to crit a lot every time, right? But if you have a low percentage, if you have like 70%, even failing to crit couple times during the combat will make so it's not better than Inquisitive Deer, in my opinion, okay? That said, let's touch on a little bit on the Beyond Wonderland HP. The Beyond Wonderland HP is not to be scoffed. No, I don't know what that word even is. It's not to be underestimated because TOOTHFAIRY has one big problem, and it's she's squishy as fuck. She's squishy like Charlie, basically. So here's a simulation, let's say, of TOOTHFAIRY I3 level 30. She has 5,769 HP at I3 level 30. We can make a level 60 I3, she has 6.1, okay? So she has 7.9 and level 30, 5769, while another healer like Sotheby has, at the same level, 6.9. So she's missing 1,200 HP, which is gained if you use Beyond Wonderland at level 50. You're gonna have 14%, which is calc 5769 times 14. yeah, at level 50. Yeah. So at plus 5769, so you have a total of 6.576 thousand HP. Now, it's not too much, and we are talking about level 30. So TOOTHFAIRY at level 60 is going to have 6.1. She almost reaches, she actually reaches 7k with Beyond Wonderland, but Sotheby on level 60, she has by herself 7.3. So if you want to catch up a little bit in tankiness, this one might be a good option. But Amplification 1, keep in mind that it's not that present when it comes to healing, right? It's not going to increase your healing too much. That said, I also want to say that in a 4-man content, when you are using 2 healers, in case you're using 2 healers, and it's the case for current China content, people are using 2 healers for the boss fights, right? On the mains bulletin. And 2 healers, in that case, someone is using the Inquisitive Deer, and if it's not TOOTHFAIRY, then you can use Beyond Wonderland on her to get a little bit more tankiness and get a little bit more critical rate and a little bit more healing rate, right? So this one still has value, but I wouldn't use it as a main if you're just using TOOTHFAIRY as your main healer on a 3-man. Let's say even if on a 4-man and you're only using 1 healer, in that case, I feel like Inquisitive Deer would be better. Now, let's go check what the Theorycrafter says. The Theorycrafter says that at 0, this is all the calculation at 0 amp, full amp for Curiosity Baby is Inquisitive Deer. This is full, and this is outside Fairyland is Beyond Wonderland, of course, and 0 amp and 5 amp. Now, I'm not sure exactly because I can't read Chinese, so I don't know what the fuck are these not the numbers, but like there are categories there that I can read, and it's hard to understand what they are because also the Google translation of the article is of course super scuffed, and it's hard to understand sometimes what is talking about. So keep that in mind that this is a little weird, but the verdict from this guy says that Curiosity baby, which is Inquisitive Deer, is the best healing state of mind, to just stay in the state of mind, which basically means is the best healing overall, that it's always permanent, it's more reliable heal PSYCHUBE, while outside of Wonderland can slightly increase the output and make up for the TOOTHFAIRY low HP limit on a certain level, but benefit from critical hits to the TOOTHFAIRY is not as high as expected, which makes me wonder, how is it not high as expected? That's kind of weird. Why is the healing per move so low at Amp 5? They're supposed to give you a lot of critical, makes it so you always crit. So why is it so low compared to Amp 5 Inquisitive Deer? Inquisitive Deer Amp 5 is 3.2. Like what? How is this so low at M5, right? So, which makes me think, what, like, who is this guy first? Two, what are these numbers? Like, what is he doing? Does it make sense? If any of you is Chinese, can you check? What is he talking about good stuff or no? Is he like talking out of nowhere? Or does he have some actual backing? Does it make sense? The numbers that he provided, do they make sense or not? So I will take what it says with a grain of salt, even though it's conveying to what I'm saying logically. But I will still say that Beyond Wonderland has some value if you need some HP on TOOTHFAIRY, if you want some HP on TOOTHFAIRY, because you always need it. TOOTHFAIRY, some HP on TOOTHFAIRY, and if you want to amplify it for whatever reason, right? I wouldn't go, because like if you think about it, amplification and gluttony or copies of the PSYCHUBE is something extremely expensive. So you want to not waste, you really don't want to waste your gluttony, and there is a lot different PSYCHUBE that you want to prioritize first. I made a video about it. It's a little scuffed, but the gist of it is that Beyond Wonderland, Brave New World, Hopscotch, and Luxurious Leisures are the best one. But there are, in my opinion, but there are others that are still good. So keep in mind, whatever characters you have, maybe you have another PSYCHUBE that you really want to amplify. Let's say the Lilia one, just an example. Thunderous Applause. So if you want to do that, do that. I'm just saying like that. Beyond Wonderland, it's hard to give it full gluttony to amplify to 5 and then be concerned about the fact that it's healing, that if it's healing more or less than Inquisitive Deer, right? So it's kind of weird. I understand. So personally, I would still go for Inquisitive Deer for healing output, but if you need some tankiness, maybe go with Beyond Wonderland, but don't amplify it, okay? So I think that's it. If you have anything to say about this matter, please leave a comment and talk about it if you guys want. You can talk about and like discuss this matter in the comments. I will read, and maybe probably I'm gonna check it on stream. So if you want to, if you want to come and join and follow the stream, I stream on Twitch and YouTube. But if you want to come on Twitch, it's twitch.tv/Jakazin. I prefer Twitch, so if you want to come there instead, that's nice. But if you want to stay on YouTube, that's completely fine. It's understandable. Even though I like Twitch more because of the emotes and the vibe, it's more lively, right? So YouTube, you don't really have too many emotes. It's annoying. It's like, right? You don't have like the third-party emotes. That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm saying. So thank you for watching. Leave a like if you like the video. Subscribe for more and the usual stuff. And see you next time.